You're listening to Uranium Spotlight on Tuesday, August 13, 2024. Brought to you by Pure Point Uranium Group, your exploration partner in Canada's Athabasca Basin. Amidst surging uranium demand, Pure Point's continuous 2024 exploration across their vast portfolio, backed by industry giants, underscores their focus on the next major discovery. And now your host, Chris Frostad.
This week on Uranium Spotlight, Australia continues to block uranium mines. The EIA releases new reports, more CANDU refurbishment, and Cameco comments on the new Kazakh mining taxes. Last week, the uranium spot market experienced typical summer sluggishness, closing on Friday down 50 cents at $81.50 per pound U3O8. The spot price began at $82 a pound, but saw limited activity and declining offers. By midweek, buyers and sellers found common ground, leading to transactions at $81.50 a pound, a drop of 50 cents from the previous week. Despite some sporadic demand, the price remained steady, closing the week at $81.50 with 5 confirmed spot transactions, all set for prompt delivery. The term market was also quiet, with no significant new utility demand. However, some utilities finalized their selections, including a non-U.S. utility that secured up to 3.2 million pounds of U3O8 for delivery between 2025 and 2031. Additionally, a U.S. utility made selections for delivery starting in 2026. Several other utilities remain active, with ongoing evaluations, and requests for proposals are expected as we approach the fall WNA symposium. Overall, while the spot market saw minor fluctuations, the term market is poised for more activity in the coming months. Last week, we highlighted significant developments in Australia, the country with the largest uranium reserves. The nuclear and uranium industries there are hotly debated, with uranium mining and exploration banned in 6 out of 8 states, except for the Northern Territory and South Australia. Calls to lift these bans have gained momentum, especially in Western Australia, a state with substantial uranium reserves and a strong mining sector. However, Western Australia's Mines Minister reaffirmed that the current Labor government has no plans to change its stance on the ban, which has been upheld through 2 elections. Currently, only 1 uranium mine operates under special permission in Western Australia, with no others allowed. In a related update, the Jabiluka mine in Australia's Northern Territory, owned by a Rio Tinto subsidiary, faced closure after the state government refused to renew its lease and declared the mine part of a CANDU National Park. However, a federal court has temporarily halted this decision after the company filed a lawsuit. The future of uranium mining in Jabiluka remains uncertain, and we'll continue to monitor this evolving situation. The U.S. Energy Information Administration, or EIA, released 2 reports last week, significant to future uranium demand. The first report, the Short-Term Energy Outlook, indicates that nuclear power is expected to remain steady, contributing approximately 19% of total U.S. energy generation in both 2024 and 2025. The United States currently operates the world's largest fleet of reactors, but China is building a fleet to rival it. With U.S. demand remaining relatively stable and demand from China and other countries expected to rise significantly, global uranium demand is likely to see sharp increases, not just in 2025, but as well in the next decade and beyond. The second report, titled Domestic Uranium Market Growth between 2023 and 2024, offers an analysis based on the EIA's monthly energy report and domestic uranium production report. While the report shows that U.S. uranium production is on the rise, there's still a long way to go. In 2024, U.S. miners produced only 82,000 pounds of uranium, surpassing the total production of 2023. However, this is still a modest amount compared to major global producers like Kazakhstan, Canada, and Australia. For context, U.S. reactor operators purchased 51.6 million pounds of uranium for fuel, far exceeding domestic production. This reliance on foreign sources underscores the need for continued imports. Countries supplying the U.S. with uranium include Kazakhstan, Canada, Australia, Uzbekistan, and until recently, Russia. The Prohibiting Russia Uranium Imports Act, signed into law by President Biden, has disrupted the flow of Russian uranium into the U.S. While some waivers for continued imports have been obtained, these will expire after 2027, signaling a shift in U.S. uranium sourcing. The report also highlights that Kazakhstan's future uranium production is largely tied up in deals with China and Russian companies, potentially leaving Western utilities in a difficult position. It's notable that Kazakhstan supplied 22% of the U.S.'s uranium in 2023. Australia, which also supplied 22% of U.S. uranium in 2023, faces political debates over its vast uranium reserves, and upcoming federal and state elections could impact its role as a supplier to the U.S. However, Canada remains the largest and most reliable supplier of uranium to the U.S., with a strong commitment to mining uranium, which also powers its own fleet of reactors. In Canadian news, several CANDU reactors worldwide are undergoing refurbishment or having their lifespans extended. The CANDU reactor, a Canadian design, is unique because it can operate on uranium fuel that requires significantly less processing than other reactor designs. Notably, Unit 3 at the Bruce Nuclear Power Generating Station, owned and operated by Bruce Power of Ontario, recently completed a major component replacement ahead of schedule, a critical milestone in the refurbishment process. With this phase complete, the station can now proceed with installation and inspection. Bruce Power is also commencing the refurbishment of Units 5, 7, and 8 at the same generating station. This ambitious project is being executed in partnership with Framatome, and a subsidiary of France's EDF, and major construction firms Aeson and United Engineers and Constructors. Additionally, Atkins Realis, the patent holders of the CANDU reactor, have been contracted to refurbish 2 CANDU reactors in China, further expanding the global impact of Canadian nuclear technology. These developments not only highlight the ongoing demand for uranium, but also underscore the importance of Canadian expertise in the global nuclear industry, which could have long-term implications for uranium markets and prices. Kazakh, the world's largest uranium producer, has recently made strategic moves to bolster its production capabilities and sustain regional economic stability. The company secured amendments to subsoil use contracts at the Inkai deposit, transferring mining rights to NK3 to a subsidiary. This move is intended to stabilize production as existing reserves deplete and to support the local economy through job preservation and increased tax revenues. Additionally, Kazakh extended its exploration period at the NK2 deposit, aiming to expand its uranium reserves over the next 4 years, with exploration conducted by another of its subsidiaries. However, the outlook for uranium production in Kazakhstan faces challenges due to upcoming tax reforms. From 2025, the Mineral Extraction Tax, or MET, will increase, potentially eroding Kazakhstan's low-cost production advantage. Cameco, a key player in the uranium market and Kazakhstan's joint venture partner at the NK project, has expressed concern that the new tax regime could raise production costs in Kazakhstan to levels comparable with northern Saskatchewan operations. This change could significantly impact the global uranium market as it affects nearly 40% of the world's supply. Despite these challenges, Cameco remains financially robust and is closely monitoring the situation, emphasizing the importance of long-term uranium pricing in investment decisions. The evolving tax landscape, coupled with recent disruptions in sulfuric acid supply, underscores the uncertainty facing uranium producers in Kazakhstan. And that wraps up your Uranium Spotlight coverage for this week. For more news and events from the world of uranium, please tune in next week to Uranium Spotlight.
You've been listening to Uranium Spotlight, your weekly podcast dedicated to delivering the latest news and events shaping the uranium fuel market and its critical role in the global energy landscape. Brought to you by PurePoint Uranium Group. PurePoint actively operates a portfolio of advanced uranium projects in the world's richest uranium district and has established partnerships with some of the largest uranium suppliers worldwide. While our passion for this subject is undeniable, it's essential to clarify that the information presented here is not investment advice. Instead, our goal is to offer an unbiased and comprehensive review of recent events that could impact uranium prices. Join us again next Tuesday for Uranium Spotlight.